Um, the fact that you think that getting rid of DEI is something that's a good thing, or it's gonna make sure that the right people get the job, makes it seem like you don't know how people actually work. What's up, people? It's me, Crimson60620, and I am back one more time with a video. And if you can, like, share, and subscribe. And we're going to be talking about it today. We're going to be talking about how I guess people don't think the lepers would eat their face. Anyway, yeah. It's actually really, really weird when I see black people that talk about DEI and how we need to end it or end affirmative action. And do they think that like people just stop being bigoted overnight? I don't know. It's just weird to me. Just and it's not even the fact that people use it to hire tokens, because they do. I'm not gonna actually lie, but generally speaking, and it's actually been said by that one Trump appointee, we need to make sure we have a space for qualified white males. It's really that simple. People, unless they're forced, they won't choose anything different outside of their comfort zone. And until that change and we no longer become human, we're gonna need programs for stuff like that. But let's go to the video and let's see what this wonderful brain trust actually is gonna say about this. Let's go. Oh, isn't it cute? They're actually doing kind of a cold opening. Okay, yeah, let's go.
I've never been a fan of affirmative action. I've never been a fan of D.E.I. And to me, those things are even more racist. If you want...
I can't wait until we get to this part in the video. Let's go.
To make those people more competitive in the work field, help develop programs that actually give them the tools, the fundamental tools to actually get these jobs, to actually be more marketable.
Yeah, get to the root of the problem. Don't just say, hey, look what I'm doing for y'all. Like, it goes with that saying,
teach a man how to fish.
Teach a man how to fish. I have a question for you. Hold on. I have a question for you. Would you quit your job if you found out that you were a DEI hire?
Would you snitch on DEI hires for some money?
That's a good question. To be honest with you, I'm not a snitch, but.
So what kind of question is that? Would you snitch on a DEI hire? First of all, do you know what a DEI hire means? It means because you're black, somebody assumes that you're not qualified. That's it. That's when somebody's using DEI, people just think, oh, black, they're not qualified. Regardless of what your qualifications are, they think that, oh, black, they got into college, DEI. It reminds me of when RFK said that, black people had dance halls and bars and barbershops. That's what they think that you're just qualified for, the people who say DEI. That's what it means, though. People have given up the pretense of, or they're too stupid, and I tend to think that they're too stupid, to hide anything but the racism. But let's go.
I don't understand the whole idea behind DEI.
So
it feels like it was a problem that they tried to fix by just putting a Band-Aid and some perfume over the shit. And it just doesn't make sense to me.
I don't even think it was a problem. But so...
Because you are an idiot. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Really? I would love to think where he doesn't think that it was a problem. And it's not even, I'm not even gonna say, and hear me out. I'm not even gonna say that every white person that hired somebody was racist, and that, no, dog. it was calling out to a problem that was there that people actually saw, where they saw as, well, this is supposed to be right and this is supposed to be right. And, how dare somebody be, even though there are examples of, different people of color, different black people, different Hispanic people being outstanding mathematicians, scientists, researchers, and there's a difference between a scientist and a researcher, doctors. All of these were examples of different things. But no, of course they can't be qualified because, they're black. That was a problem. And yes, affirmative action forced people by law to actually do certain things. And that was migrated to diversity. It wasn't even diversity, equity, and inclusion isn't even migrated by law. It mandated by law. It was mandated by market factors. Companies saying that, hey, we want to make more money because we want to get all the money. But let's go.
Oh, Trump, this new administration has sent out an email demanding to what's it called, identify the leaders of DEI programs or initiatives at the at certain government jobs.
I mean, do they recognize the fact that they can wear their hair in natural, either in locks or in braids? That's something that is included in the diversity, the equity, and inclusion. Do they not realize that? All right, let's go.
So I don't know. Maybe some of them gonna get fired. You gotta give them a list. Would you if you were in their position, would you actually give up that list? So you know what? Mark was hired. Mark is in charge of this program.
Is Mark making more money than me? Is Mark making more money than me?
And you know what? I was about to make the comment, it's crabs in a bucket. And he just filled my point. It's disgusting that a lot of this comes down to, I need to tear somebody down in order for the bodies at my feet to push me up higher. And that's sad, man. To quote D'Onofrio, or rising tide raises all boats. It's sad because this is another case of I'm one of the good ones. I'm telling you, I carry a bottle of A1 because when the leopards eat that face, they're gonna need some flavor because you're boring.
If that nigga making more money than me, that nigga gotta go.
Oh shit. Okay, now that's the black mentality. I know.
You feel me? Crabs in a barrel. You feel me? That's how it got to be.
Let's go. So would you?
We got to keep the same energy with the whiteys that we do with the niggas. So you feel me?
Okay. So would you snitch?
Yeah. Anybody who's making more money than me, I'm getting them the hell out of there. Especially.
Here's the problem. That's the same mentality that the people who are against D.E.I. are like. That doesn't mean you're going to move up the ladder. It doesn't. It just means that somebody else that could be your ally is gone but they not me and they standing in my way. They're standing in your way, never knowing if they're a shield for you or not. Never knowing if they're a rung on that ladder or not. You're trying to cut them down. Trying to tear them down off the ladder. And it may be the rung that you need. But let's go.
Especially, okay. Let's think about this, right? If I got hired off of merit, right? They're like, okay, you have the qualifications to do this job because, you went to school, got a degree, or you have the experience or whatever have you, right? And then there's somebody else that got the job because there's a quota to be filled. Let's say black, woman, Asian, gay.
And this is the time and time again. This is the mistaken belief of what they think it actually is. The fact of the matter is, when the Asian students took affirmative action to the Supreme Court, and they effectively got it overturned. The next year, or the next 2 years, we saw a decline in Asian students. You're not part of the group that they want to, the one that they want to be in charge. You're not part of it. You don't have a white card, dog. The fact that you black, regardless, because they're gonna say you only got to school because you got in because black people. That's what they're going to say. That's what they say when they are able to cut these programs to actually force equality inside of these structures. Let's go on.
Straight, whatever the quota is, right? If you're getting hired based on that quota, that's a big middle finger to the people who got hired based on their qualification. The issue that I have with DEI is that it's supposedly trying to solve like getting those people into those fields.
It's supposed to be
that
less
doesn't have
racist. Like supposedly it's supposed to put them at a less of a disadvantage.
It's not just about race. It's not just about race. It's about trying to get more of a certain type of people into a certain type of field or workforce and things like that, right?
And the problem is, I'm gonna be right there honest with you, dog. It's helping you out. It's helping you out. The fact that you think that it's just about merit that you got to your position that you say that you got to. Again, that poem that priest said is just coming to fruition. I didn't say anything was them. I didn't say anything was them. I didn't say those things when it was them. And when it came to me, all those other people were gone. And there was nobody to say anything about me. That's why I try to also make it a point to black people like, yo. Don't just say, oh, people of color this, people of color that. Reach out to the people, those poor white people that get forgotten about in those poor downtrodden communities. Because in the end, we're going to need to help each other go after people that have a marked interest in keeping us fighting against each other. But let's continue.
Which is all fine and dandy. The issue is, you need to give people the opportunity to learn themselves, get educated, get the certifications that they need. You need to actually give them the opportunity to actually get qualified for those positions.
And see, this reeks of people who aren't first generation, who are first or second generation Americans. I have a sense of an accent from both of these guys where they may have came to America or their parents came to America and they would have had money in the country they originally came from. This is the idea that, if you're in poverty, that's your fault. Well, yes, there are some choices that can get you into poverty, and don't let anybody take that away from you. There are some choices that can get you into poverty. There are some choices that can help, that can make it where you maintain in the poverty. And there are also some things that are outside of your control, trends that we actually see that affect your economic development. That all being said, if you think it's 100% merit based, then you're crazy.
Hiring someone based off of skin color, gender, all of that nonsense, that's discriminatory. It's like, oh, I'm hiring you because of physical attributes or other
no control over
characteristics that nobody has control over. I can't help it if I was born black or white or whatever the exclusion criteria might be. So then why are we even doing it?
That's not what DEI is. If you think that's what DEI is or affirmative action is, then you lost the plot. Then you just boil something down as as, oh, I'm just hiring you. Not that you met qualifications, because that's the thing. You still have to meet qualifications. And if you think that people that pioneered or used DEI aren't the top in their field, if you think that you don't have to be a exceptional minority to get that status, well, just look at the last few presidential elections. Look how exceptional the people that were black had to be. And just the smallest thing, they were criticized to no end, when the same can be said about other people who were running for president. The fact that you don't see this, the fact that you want to just make it as, oh, they just got the job because they were black, it just shows how incredibly pick me you are.
The other side is
I am cooning. Say whatever you want. FLDI, motherfuckers.
The other side is because these groups tend to be more.
FLD. Wait, let's just go back. What did he say?
The other side is.
He said FDI. Okay. Yeah, let's go.
Because these groups tend to be marginalized, they are already at a disadvantage and need that little extra boost to make themselves more.
Again, that extra boost is actually fixing those communities, actually having resources, actually have a better education system. That's what's going to fix that issue.
If you want to include diversity of thought, which what D.E.I. claims to want to be doing, why is that based on race? Why is it based on gender? Why is it based on sexual orientation? Are you saying black people think a certain way, gay people think a certain way, women think a certain way? Is that what you're saying?
Okay.
So, but the idea of making these things race-based is racist in nature, as opposed to making it merit-based.
So, again, the understanding that these morons are having is that, no, it's not a cheat code to look at somebody's skin color, look at somebody's gender, look at somebody's sexual expression to say like, they think differently. You fucking humans are just too stupid to actually invest yourself into somebody's cultural way of thinking by, communication. You think, I see somebody and I know how they think before they even open up their mouths. That's the problem. You never know. Like dude said, he said he was, trash panting. It's sad, really. Because all this is, I'm the best, pick me. And I feel like I'm going to say that a lot doing out this video. But let's continue.
Now, just like you, I agree. If you want to make those people more competitive in the work field, right? To help develop programs that actually take, give them the tools, the fundamental tools to actually get these jobs.
So what fundamental tools can we give somebody to help them remove somebody else's bigotry? Because that's what this is about. That's exactly what this is about. What fundamental tools can we, Man in Black style, mind wipe somebody's bigotry? Nobody just gets a job because they're black or because they're a woman or because they're Hispanic. Nobody gets the job because of that. Qualifications are looked at. You know who gets a job because you know, they just exist. Mediocre white kids. And I almost hate saying it like that because I've worked 20 years in a job where in several different jobs where I've met mediocre people that fail upwards. And oh God, there is no shortage of people who fail upwards just because. Some of them know how to play politics to get to where they need to be, but some of them are just like, oh, they're just there. They have an exceptional ability to suck up, but not to learn. And yet, you're turning people who actually do the hard work, who actually have bucked generations of trends, to dismiss their position all because the tint of their skin. Come on now. You know better than this. But again, the pick me gotta get picked.
Actually be more marketable.
Yeah, get to the root of the problem. Don't just say, hey, look what I'm doing for y'all. Like, no, bitch. Like, it goes with that saying,
teach a man how to fish.
You teach a man how to fish. And don't just like bring him fish. Like, no.
But what happens if you're turned away from the watering source because of the way you look? This is dumb. Do they not think that, you know, black people can't be intelligent outside of these programs? They can't have ingenuity outside of these programs? They can't come up with inventions or concepts or theories or philosophies outside of these programs? No. What was the saying? I do not marvel at the Einstein. I marvel at the people who have the same intelligence of someone like Einstein but goes unfulfilled because of the place that they're born, is something like that. I don't marvel at the mind that says, oh yes, I've been given this leg up in society and I barely made it through the entry halls, versus somebody who has actual qualifications, but because of the nature and the place of their birth, they're doomed to actually fall along the wayside. This is ridiculous. This is the epitome of just arrogance. No, you're not a good one. Because in the end, to a number of people, you're just going to be a ninja in a suit. That's it.
Like, teach him how to fish and he'll be able to feed himself for years to come. This nonsense of the you know, when I'm applying for jobs, every time it has that identification questionnaire, and they ask you like if you're black, whatever. Yeah, most of the time I put no. Like, I am like, no,
me too, to identify. Yeah,
because I have two reasons, right? I'm like, I'm black, so we're very paranoid, right? So I'm like, I have two reasons. I'm like, okay, they want to know that I'm black so that they don't hire me, or
so you know what it is. That's the craziest thing about it. You know what it is. You know what it is. This is just unbelievably crazy. You know what it is. You understand what it is. But yet and still, it's because I'm one of the good ones. How does this work in your mind? Oh my God. Let's continue.
They're only hiring me because I said that I'm black. Yeah. Whichever case, I don't like it.
Yes.
So like, no.
And the idea of implicit bias, I hate that side of the argument. We're like, oh, given two equal exact resumes, but one has a black name and the other one has a white name, like, the hiring manager might just hire the white guy.
There were studies done. They did studies. Science. Like the stem cells that they're trying to get people of a diverse background in. Those science. You just don't believe it because it doesn't fit your narrative. Not even just the scientific studies that they've done. They've repeated the studies in God, I'm blanking on the word. In anecdotal stories. Yes. It's been shown. We know it's been shown.
And I'm like, okay, and like we all have our biases. We all have implicit biases. If I'm a hiring manager, I'm looking at two exact resumes. One is from a white person, one is from a black person. Guess who I'm hiring? The black person, because I can relate on that.
You're making the case for it. Oh my God. Oh my God. You gotta be joking, right? You have to be joking. You're screwing with me, right? You're screwing with me. You are screwing with me, right? You're screwing with me. So the reason why they have DEI. You understand why there's DEI. You actually just admit why there's DEI in affirmative action. But because reasons, you think it's bad because you think it's used against you. I don't get that part. Wow. Oh, okay. 6 minutes of this video and we just covered it all. Okay.
On that level, right? So, and then now let's say both resumes are from black people, two black guys applying for the same job. They're equally, same skills, same level of experience, equal resumes, just two different black guys. But one of them loves soccer and his favorite team is Liverpool. The other one watches American football. I'm gonna go with the nigga who likes soccer because I can we connect on that. I can relate to you on that. So I'd rather like the idea of
somebody saying that, hey, I love soccer is way different than saying, oh, you black, so you must not be qualified. You must have faked your diploma. Somebody must have passed you. Like, that's so different. Unless you're looking at soccer hooligans football hooligans and think like, yeah, we go crazy for Manchester. Like Edinburgh and stuff like that. Like I don't only know that because like they're popular. Those are two different types of bias. One can like not get you invited to an after party, and the other can leave you shot because you moved the wrong way. The other one can get you, I don't know, choked out because an officer needs to put you in your place. The other one can lead to a lot of cops having body cameras because too many people ended up, mysteriously resisting arrest. Wow. Okay.
Implicit biases. The idea of implicit biases
is just off of names, right? It's like, oh, this person is named Joe. This person is named, like, I don't know, Samuel. I'm like, oh wait, I knew a Joe back in my days, and he was a pretty cool guy. You know what? I'm gonna pick the nigga whose name is Joe because he reminds me of
my friend who's afraid like that.
Then, boop, that's it.
There's nothing really wrong with implicit biases. It only matters what you do with those biases.
That's the point. You nincompoop. There's nothing wrong with implicit biases until it hurts me. Then there's something wrong with it. Okay.
All have biases. Like I hold certain biases towards Europeans, towards certain groups of people, certain ethnicities, certain language.
That's why you should have a law in place or a company policy in place to actually filter against it. And to, try to bring it as objective as you can, because we can never truly be objective. We can only be subjective. That's almost like we need a policy in place in order to push against our natural instincts. What? How about we call it something when you include a lot of people and you try to make things equitable, not equal, or try to diversify who you have in your company. I don't know what that can actually lead to.
Certain Spanish accents, I hate certain Spanish accents. Some are like I don't like to act like
this is
and this is why I would shudder for anybody to put you in control of anything. But you know, I would say the business will fail, but there are morons out there that will buy or give business to anything.
This is coming from someone who, I'm not racist, guys, but I feel more comfortable being around black people than I am.
When you start off something, I'm not something, or hey, I really am, but that's a general sign that whatever you're about to say is some garbage. I'm not racist, but oh wow. Wow. Oh wow. I'm not racist, but I'm not sexist, but I I think, predating on children is bad, but like nothing after that is a good thing. And it negatively affects what you said before.
Around white people. Straight up.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not going to sit here and support some nonsense that's just is discriminatory in nature.
Mm-hmm.
To me, it's like, we're not solving anything with this.
White people can actually benefit from DEI as well, right? You know that, right? There's a class of people that, are white, not mostly, but just are white. They're called veterans that, benefit from it. I know, weird, right? Oh, there's these things, and I probably know you probably don't touch them, but they're called women that can be either black, white, Hispanic, any that benefit from DEI. But I mean, like, I know that's a foreign concept from you, of you, because women. Who wants to learn about somebody that may actually think different from themselves, right?
Nonsense. So
but you see how you
snitch on your coworkers.
You see how you have your bias. You're like, I feel more comfortable around black people than white people, but that doesn't stop you. You don't act on those biases and just be like, I'm never going to be around white people. Like you,
because that will be illegal. It'll be illegal. Some people need the force of the law because some people think that the law brings more morality, when it's the other way around, truly, where it should be other around. Because if the only reason why you don't do something is because you think that it's illegal and you may get in trouble with the law, that's sociopathic behavior. I don't believe I have to tell the dope people that. Okay, let's go.
You understand your biases and you give the benefit of the doubt. The same way, if the hiring manager was a white guy, but because he's so into black culture, like, oh man, black people are more cool, they're going to bring fun to the workplace, I'd rather hire a black guy than a white guy, then no one has a problem with that, right? He's still using his implicit bias to pick the culture he's more interested in. So like, so D.E.I. just...
Oh my God, their analogies are so stupid. But if you're just hiring somebody because they're black, just because they're black, that's illegal, dog. That's illegal. If you're hiring somebody just because they're white, that's also illegal. See, here's the thing about all of these laws. It's like the freedom of like the separation of the state and religion. That's not to give us atheists the win. No, that's to protect you Christians as well, or you Muslims, or you the Hindu. It's there to protect everybody. When you think that a law that it won't let me dominate, the reason why is because even the people that were dominating and had rules, they're like, hey, hold on, we're giving us all the power, but we don't want where somebody can take over all the power and put us in a horrible state. These things actually help other people as well as the people of color, as well as the women and the gays and all that other stuff that you think that is using to get up on them people. That's not how. Okay.
Just trying to solve an issue that isn't there. The real issue, if you want to be honest about it, the real issue is just at the developmental level. Developmental level.
Yeah, because we know that it's the black people fault, all of the black people fault, that all the bad things happen to them. Never mind the fact that, for like almost all of the history of this country, black people didn't have the same rights as everybody else. And let's not talk about the other people. I mean, like, for like 80 years, they had a cap on how many Asian people can actually come to the country because... Let me check notes. Reasons. Because as you guys said, racism doesn't exist. Who am I kidding? And until it affects you, then racism exists. But if it doesn't affect you, then what racism, right?
The issue is at the developmental level.
Be in high school for that word. Oh my God.
That's how you know I'm not an American.
You're not from this country. See, our opinion matters when it comes to this shit because we're not even from this country.
We're not even Americans.
Like, we should be benefiting from D.E.I, but we don't want it, okay?
Oh, I called it. Yup, I called it. Again, I'm a good one. Dog, I'm going to tell you this. If some of these people get their way and convince enough people to be apathetic, you're going to be right on the next ship as well. They're literally trying to get rid of birthright citizenship. They really went to the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court ruled against, well, just because you married somebody in the country doesn't mean they get a green card. Homie. Last one in, first one out. That's how this works. Let's continue.
Ask a Nigerian. A Nigerian will refuse a D.E.I hire, bro.
Know.
These niggas are hardworking. They're scamming every day to make ends meet. They don't give a fuck. They just want to do what they need to do. Asians, same shit.
No, for real,
why is it
it's a mindset.
African Americans who
I'm telling you, boy, the leopards are... I mean, like, get some ketchup, barbecue sauce, A1. They never thought the leopards would eat their face, but it's coming for you.
Who are the ones who want this D.E.I shit?
It really is a mindset. I work in tech, right? And like the majority of black people I see in tech are Nigerians because growing up, they tell them you can only be a doctor, lawyer, and engineer, right? So those things are very important to them. So they're going to work and grind to get to those positions. Same thing. I work with a lot of freaking Indians. Indians pretty much run, like, India has like it's a huge tech hub. Like,
and yet, when it came down to it, people in those fields they're basically just spoiled white kids who grew up in the suburb and never knew any type of, adversity. How come I didn't get it? It's all these Indian people. They need to go. Like, this is crazy, man. This is crazy. And most of the time, it's these younger kind of like libertarian guys that when they go for that big promotion, go for the head of that position, they get looked at like they crazy. Like, you ain't supposed to be in this field, homie. You ain't supposed to be in this field, homie. These people are supposed to be there. These people are supposed to be there. Let me check your qualifications. Let me check to make sure you didn't just pass for D.E.I. Well, let's continue.
A lot of those tech jobs are getting outsourced to India. And in their culture, it's very prioritized to, you got to make something of yourself. You got to go into business. You got to go into technology. Like, that's just a mindset thing. It's not because, we're not, they're at a disadvantage. So more white people, like, where's the disadvantage when it comes to sports? To sports like basketball, to football. Like, what are this? Why are you not putting out the disadvantages there? Like, I know, because it's all merit based on how you perform.
Oh, homie, dog. Well, he did say that he didn't like American football. I mean, like, obviously he would understand how for the longest time people thought that black people couldn't be quarterbacks. Like, he does understand, like, even in quote unquote black sports fields, there are still things where they think black people can't do. They think only a certain people can actually do. I wonder how old these two cats are. They can't be more than 30.
Perform.
Ooh, you're making a lot of sense. Hold on there a minute. How come they don't have DEI when it comes to basketball teams?
Or football
Get more
teams,
white players, nigga. Because they will fucking lose if they get more white players.
Because their group is not typically marginalized and blah, blah, blah. It's like, no, that's not.
Nah, bro. Because they'll fucking lose if they get white players. Like,
do you think it's some sort of genetic trait that more black people actually play basketball? Do you think these are nerd motherfuckers. These are nerds. These are nerds. How do you? I have this thing where I don't think people can be book smart or street smart. It's just like some people don't understand social cues. Some people don't understand just, they devote themselves to a particular field and they don't develop other parts of their intelligence. I don't think these people have developed any parts of their intelligence. The reason why there is such a prolific amount of black people in the NBA, because people forget that, there are basketball leagues outside of just America, because America is great. We're number one, but we're not the center of the world yet. There are other leagues around the world that, they're not prominent because America's greatest export is its culture, and the philosophy of military might. The reason why you see a lot of black folks in the NBA is because people thought that was one of the only ways they can actually make it outside of the hood, outside of their poor living conditions. That's a reason why. And it led to over adaptation of the culture of basketball. Now, some people like some people, even though I played a little bit of basketball, I wasn't into it. I was into things like, nerd stuff like drawing, anime, and for a long time you weren't considered black if you did the nerd stuff and didn't play basketball, because social pressures had nothing to do with, it's almost as if they're saying that it's genetically built in for black people to be good in basketball. No, you idiot. Because that same genetic stuff will go to other sports. It's a culture that's built up around it because it seems as a legitimate way to actually become successful. The same with, creative arts like rapping, the same with, film and acting and all this other stuff. Dog, this is so stupid.
Like, and then the same thing with any sports that's dominated by a certain group of people. In MLS, a bunch of Hispanics and some whites.
there are
But
less-
nobody goes, we need to get more black players in the
And
MLS.
play
Like,
soccer.
no, nigga, whoever can actually play. Like,
I'll
niggas
tell
don't
you,
be playing
it's
soccer
not
like that.
an issue. From my personal
It's
experience,
not,
at the very
but-
least, whether you say, "Oh, we're not educated on the matter," blah blah blah, I've never seen a compelling argument that wasn't like everything has just been anecdotal experience, and like no one's really people are just making claims and then going with it, running. Oh yeah, this is what it is. People are discriminated where, how, when, who, like.
Dang, it's almost if they've done studies. They've done studies. They done studies. Man, it's like we have a list of studies to actually look up. Multiple studies. Like, this is just, oh. They've done studies.
You're telling me, how can you know someone wasn't hired because of their race? How can you know because someone wasn't hired just because they're black? Like, how do you know these things? Oh, because there's a history
Now,
of.
but now I have a question though, right? So I think I also read somewhere that apparently they will put D.E.I hires on leave, like paid leave right now until they figure out what to do. So when you're hired as a D.E.I, or when you're hired as
I need to know. I need to know, is that where's that source from?
My source is that I made it the fuck up.
I think I know where the source is from.
as a D.E.I, are you marked as a D.E.I hire? Like, do they keep following? Like, okay, this nigga is only here because he's a D.E.I. So when shit hits the fan, he's gonna be the first one to go.
I don't know. This is causing more of an issue than it's actually solving. Same thing with affirmative action. Same thing with DEI. And a lot of.
Do you know any D.E.I hires?
How would I know? I wouldn't know.
If you black, that's what it is. That's just the actual just black. That's it.
I wouldn't even.
Well, if you have friends who fit a certain group, like I don't know.
If I was a DI, I don't know. I don't know. And the thing is, if I found out I was a DI hired, I would be very like, oh yeah. So I wasn't good enough to get hired. The only thing I was good enough for was my skin. And that's why I got.
You don't get it, dog. The people that will condemn you as a DEI hire just think because you black, you're a DEI. That's it. You're not acknowledging the fact that, dude, they think because you black, you DEI. That's it. That's it.
Got hired, like that's what the merit was.
Yeah, because you got to meet quotas.
Yes. Something I have no control over. I didn't choose to be black, so you hired me because I was black. Like,
I have a question for you. Hold on. I have a question for you. Would you quit your job if you found out that you were a DEI hire?
Would I quit my job?
Yeah, if you found out that you were a DEI hire.
I'd sue them for emotional trauma.
Would you quit though? Is what I'm asking you.
I could sue while keeping my job, right?
No.
Okay, these people are so unserious. I'm sorry, I can't watch any more of this. This is just. I tried, guys. I tried. I really, really did try. But they are unbelievably stupid. I can't anymore. It's dumb. If you can, guys, help me out. Give me strength to make it and listen to these stupid idiots. Like, share, and subscribe. And we'll catch you on the next video. Thanks.
I want to say thank you to all my Patreon supporters and my Twitch subscribers. Join the Guardians, become a member, or become a subscriber on YouTube, Patreon, and help support the channel. Thank you for watching this video, and the next one should be popping up on your screen. Subscribe, and if you haven't checked it out and want to help out the channel, check out my Patreon. Thanks.